Maybe it's because we had a miscarriage first, but when our first child was born, it was nothing short of incredible. And then we had a second and a third and eventually a fourth as well, and the feelings were pretty much the same every single time. I had two distinct feelings. First, I felt a sense of fear. You see, we began having our children shortly after September 11th, 2001. And if you remember the feelings at that time, it was this feeling that fear was beginning to creep in. And not just on a global or national level, but on a personal level, that fear was beginning to creep in. And I began to wonder, who would want to bring children into a world as scary as this? And I was concerned for them personally. I wondered when would be the first time that they would be in pain. I wondered when the first time would be that they would be sick. I wondered how life would treat them and how things would turn out for them. I wondered if they would be 2 years old and fall down and get hurt. I wondered if they would be teenagers and have their heart broken. I wondered if they would be young adults and have a hard time finding their place in the world. I wondered if they would have a career or a family someday, and that would be great, but also difficult and hard. The second feeling was one of hope. This little child belonged to us, and that was nothing short of amazing. I was so proud of having a little person to raise every single time, and nothing will give you more hope than looking into the bright, shiny face of a newborn baby. And when I looked at each of our children in the face after they were born, I felt that sense of hope. I knew they would face difficulties someday, but I also knew they could overcome those difficulties. I knew somehow that they would find a way to be triumphant, that they would find a way to be victorious over those difficulties. I knew they might fall down 6 times, but they might rise up 7 times. I knew that as their father, I would hold their hand. I knew that I would be in the stands, both literally and figuratively, cheering them on every step of the way. I knew that because I had gone before them and suffered many of the same failures and experienced many of the same successes that they would experience, that I could cheer them on with a full heart. Today, you may be feeling a bit of that fear yourself, and I don't blame you. The world is a scary place. All you have to do is turn on social media or the news or just about anything else, and they'll be happy to tell you how scary the world is, and it's not untrue. However, we can't stop with that feeling of fear. We have to press on to the feelings of hope. We've got to have that sense that we can believe in one another, that we know that we can get through these difficult times, that we know that those around us are worth admiring and cheering on, both literally and figuratively from those stands. We have to tell them that we know they can do it. We have to be able to look them in the face and say, I know you can do this. So children, we've got to have hope. We've got to find hope that will be able to help our children and those around us through these difficult days. We have to have the hope that they'll be able to bring about the change in this world that we've been unable to bring about. That then we can watch them accomplish the things that have been impossible for us, and that we'll watch them change the impossible into the possible. That we could watch them climb the mountain that we could never hope to ascend. We're going to have the hope for the next generation, the generation that's coming after us, that they will be the ones to climb that mountain. We've got to have hope for them, because if we don't have hope, we don't have anything. For years, religion has been telling us to believe in God, but the untold story of faith is God's belief in us, God's belief in you. The story of faith is that God has given us resources, responsibilities, and opportunities, and God has trusted us with them. If you are afraid today, maybe you need to hear this one simple truth: God believes in you. I have hope for you today. Maybe you're bound up in that fear like I was, looking in the face of my newborn babies, being afraid of what was to come, knowing that there would be pain in the road ahead. However, today I have to have hope. I have a hope because you and I are in this world and we are overcomers. I do not tell you today that we can be overcomers. I tell you today that we are already overcomers. I have hope because you are bigger than the things that will come against you. Inside there's a seed that was planted long ago, and I can see that it is growing. It's going to blossom and it's going to bloom, and you're going to overcome. And I have hope from this point on because you are in the world. And so I have hope because you are here for a reason. Things may not be perfect, but that doesn't mean you don't have purpose. You are here for a reason. Do we have a reason to fear? Of course we do. Do we have a reason to hope? Of course we do. Every time I look into the eyes of my children, I know that we have hope. And this hope does not disappoint us because it carries us along to better futures, better nations, better days, and better lives. Fear? Yes, but also hope.